Hey, good morning, folks. It's 8 a.m. Hold on, I got to post something on Facebook here real quick. I'm always posting on Facebook. Let's see if I can get that done. Power off. All right, I'm with you here, BKP. Good morning from the office. I have to multitask. I'm unorganized. I'm worse than a Trump transition team. I'm telling you, Trump's transition team has it more together than I do this morning on the show. What are you looking at? Good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. I have great news for you today. I come bringing great news. The Trump transition team is in total disarray. That is the best news you've had all day long. I'll explain why in just a minute. Hold on there. I'm trying to get some things done here. We start right at 8. I guess I should be ready, shouldn't I? If I want people to watch, I should be ready. I'm trying to tweet out. Try to tweet out like Donald Trump does. I don't want to mess this up. Let's see. Let's do transition team. Let's do transition. Yeah, transition. Where's that? Transition. We'll take that. Transition 20. All right, we'll do that. Stay with me here. I'm worse than like the media. Donald Trump wasn't ready for all this. He wasn't ready to win. According to the media, and I'm the same way. I had to get my tweet out. You always have to get your tweet out. You don't get your tweet out in the morning? Okay, well, I'm afraid I'm going to be blocked. Twitter is blocking alt-right Twitter accounts. So we are watching now as of 8 o'clock this morning when Good Morning from the Office, FYN TV, BKP will be blocked from Twitter. They may consider me alt-right. I don't know what the hell they consider me here. I could be alt-right. I could be a neocon. Neocon. There you go. Neocon, alt-right. White supremacist. These are all the things Steve Bannon is. Let's see it. I kind of like the guy Steve Bannon. You got to like the guy because he's got everybody in an uproar. The left, the Huffington Post crowd, all the left, all the gurus, the professors that they ship in every morning to sit at the round table that's been, studying this their whole life. Their hair's on fire just to name Steve Bannon. So the guy's got to be okay, right? So I think the problem will be is when they call it white supremacists. Now, I'm getting somewhere today. I've got a lot to do here today, and we're going to talk about everything that's out there. But when we talk about Steve Bannon and white supremacists and white lash, as Van Jones says it, and Donald Trump's all-white transition team, all the above, okay? What they're trying to explain to you is in the Donald Trump administration, okay, you got something behind, you gave me a thumbs up. What did that mean? I've been seen going into Trump Tower. Oh my God. There's a whole list of names, a whole list of who's going in and out of Trump Tower. Now I've been seen. It's a leak, folks. We've leaked. There's all kinds of leaks in this administration already. Folks, there I am, seen coming out of Trump Tower, reporting live from Trump Tower. We're watching to see the next, if Ted Cruz is coming out next, Marla Maples, the whole 9 yards.
Have you been there before?
No, I have, but I've not been in. Jerry's been in. Jerry's been in Trump.
I've actually been in there.
You've been in? Jerry's been in Trump. I haven't been in. I've been by there. But I can't admit that, folks. I cannot admit if I have been called and asked if I would take a position just because I'm sitting outside of Trump Tower this morning. What will happen during the Trump administration that has them all up in arms is it will be okay. Now hang tight. I know it's only 8:04. Sometimes it's hard to take this kind of information this early in the morning, but we have to come directly to you and bring you things as they are. During a Donald Trump administration, it will be okay. Hang on. Are you ready? Are you ready? During a Donald Trump administration, it will be okay to be white again. There you go. It will be okay. You won't have to hide it. You won't have to be in fear of it. What's the guy that was running for president on the Democrat ticket? What is his name? The former governor of Maryland that said all lives matter, and that was the end of his career. There, his campaign was over. Remember, Bernie was giving a speech, and the angry black women stormed the stage, took the mic. You couldn't have any life. All lives will matter. I'm here to tell you at 8:05 Wednesday morning, it will be okay to be white again, and for people to know that, and that's what has them messed up. Now, I don't want to get sidetracked, but they can't. We have sit around and we see the television network BET, Black Entertainment TV. All right. Well, they make jokes. But what if you opened up white entertainment TV, okay? All right. They have the Black Music Awards, okay? They have the Black Music Awards, all right? Black Music Award, R&B Black Music Awards and things like that, the Black Artist Awards, all that, right? Now, they would turn around and say, well, you've got the, Country Music Awards. We can't help it. It's been 30 years between Charlie Pride and Darius Rucker, which AKA will always be known as Hootie to me, okay? We can't help that. I mean, brother could throw a cowboy hat on and play some Waylon Jennings anytime he wishes. I'm not stopping him. But that's what they would say. It will be okay to be white again in America, and you will not have to go around in fear. In fact, it will be okay to be black. It will be okay to be Asian. It will be okay, to be Latino. It'll be okay now. And their hair's on fire. But anyhow, let's get to some things I have set up this morning, and I want to bring you around. First of all, any teacher or principal that allows or encourages their students to walk out of school and protest needs to be fired today. Okay? Needs to be fired today. Any teacher or principal. Okay? I'm sorry. You are not, I support teachers, I support principals. I don't look for teachers and principals in my general area to do this. But if you are in one of these sanctuary cities or in one of these really liberal cities and you're being encouraged by a principal or a teacher and the classroom doors are open to go and protest, you need to be fired today, period. We got to stop the money. The money has to stop going into these colleges with these wacko professors that you keep sending your kids off to school and they come back and you're like, what happened? I mean, I had this nice conservative son or daughter and, they're 18 years old, I sent them off, they come back. What happened? You keep sending them to these colleges. Okay, we have every governor house. What do we have, 30-some governor's mansions in the United States? Are you going to tell me that we have to keep putting up with these liberal colleges? Get real, folks. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but it's starting to get under my damn skin, all right? You quit bragging at how red these states are, how many governors we have as Republicans, how many state houses we have as Republicans. Put a stop to it today. Cut their money off today. Period. Cut their money off. Clean out the wacko professors in these state-run colleges that get our money that you're sending your kids to. Quit bragging. You got the governor's house and the state house if you're not going to clean this swamp up in these colleges out here today. Clean this swamp up. Oh, you don't agree with protest? Yeah, I'm okay with protesting. You can protest. Clean these colleges up. Take the money. Clean these schools up. Take the money. Sanctuary cities, clean them up. Take the money. You don't want the money? No problem. Let's see how you do then. Okay. The Trump transition team, the New York Times, remember the New York Times sent out the letter, was it the New York Times that sent the letter out to their readers that they were going to try to do better at reporting honestly, that they may have let their readers and subscribers down a little bit, and they were going to take another shot at honest reporting. The New York Times this morning, firing leaves Trump transition team in disarray. Two Americas of 2016. Two officials who had been handling national security for President-elect Donald J. Trump's transition team were dismissed. Prominent American allies were in the meantime scrambling to figure out how and when to contact Mr. Trump. Okay, Giuliani's business ties viewed as red flag for job at State Department. So the front of the New York Times, it's in disarray, total disarray. The place is a mess, the transition team. You know, we're going to have to look real close here at the campaign that could get nothing correct. Now, I have said, first of all, if the media was crooked last week, they are crooked this week. Please, folks, they're crooked this week, all right? The best thing that can be happening right now for you and I is, one, relax. This is Wednesday. At this time, at 8 o'clock last Wednesday morning, I was dancing all around the room because Donald Trump was elected president. You were dancing around the living room and the kitchen. You know, everybody was drinking and carrying on because we had found out that Donald Trump was the president. Now, within a week, we have no honeymoon from the media, obviously. And, we have no honeymoon from the media, but we have the media trying to put all of the discourse they can out there to cause all the disruption they can to try to get some of the people that carry their resumes from one administration to another on Trump's team so they can get their influence in the White House. Now, what I mean by that is there a list of people. Remember Mitt Romney? I know it had to take a minute to remember Mitt Romney. Remember Mitt Romney and the thought of him winning, and there was names like John Sununu. Oh my God, remember they were floating like John Sununu? There are people that are in the Wayback Machine that have their resumes ready to go to move right into an office. And you have Morning Joe, Scarborough and them, and you have several on the left that's saying Trump has to pick a handful of people that can walk in and know how things work from day one. Put the brakes on. That's what we want to stop. How things work from day one. We want to stop how things have been working. We don't want things to be able to work from day one the way they were working in the past. So that's one break we want to put out. But the media is considering everything Trump does in disarray. Now, myself, when they study Trump's campaign, okay, is there a part, because at this time, the damn guy is going to be president. And they're still saying how bad he did at transitioning into this, pivoting into that. I mean, nothing he did was correct, but the guy is moving in the White House. I mean, if I could screw up as much as Trump and be as successful, in fact, I plan today. I plan to be a total screw up, just like Donald Trump, so I can land in the White House. Here I am coming out of Trump Tower. You never know what job I'm going to have. BKP. I may be State Department. Anyhow, I'll clean that swamp up. Now, let's get to this. I keep saying, okay, maybe Donald Trump ran the perfect campaign. Now, they want to say he accidentally stumbled through. Look at what his campaign cost in comparison. Look at what the primary cost in comparison. Or you're going to say, well, they gave him $3 billion of free airtime. Okay, look at what everything has cost on Donald Trump's side, and maybe he takes that same approach into governing and maybe cut some costs for us. So let's start with our first picture this morning. Let's start with this first guy. We ready?
Ready when you are.
I said start with the first guy. How much more ready can you get? Oh, you remember this guy? Corey Lewandowski. Remember Corey? Let's go all the way back. Corey Lewandowski. Corey got, I know, all kinds of uproar. He touched a reporter's shirt. Oh my God. You know, Donald Trump was going to defend him in court. All the above, the uproar, everything. But Corey Lewandowski seemed to have gotten Donald Trump through the primaries. So Donald Trump's going through there. He's a primary candidate, and he's knocking off one at a time, like playing whack-a-mole at the local Chuck E. Cheese. You know, it's like Jeb Bush's head pops up, bam. Okay, he's playing whack-a-mole with all the primary candidates. Corey Lewandowski's calling the shots right through the primary. I think they've seen Corey Lewandowski going through the doors of Trump Tower here recently. I think his name's been floated somewhere. But Corey is with Donald all through the primary. And he gets to a point. Now, the media leads you to believe he's got to get rid of Corey Lewandowski. He's a problem on the campaign. He's dragging Donald Trump out. But remember, he got him through the primaries. Now, Donald Trump needed to go into the convention. He needed to work the delegates because he didn't know how to do it, right? He needed to work the delegates at the convention, and he needed to understand how to go into a convention, work the delegates, work the room, and come out and be prepared for the general election. So what's he do? Go to the next picture. Corey did his job, he's out. Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort's in. Now, if I could get as many disasters as Donald Trump has had, because every one of these people that has been on his campaign, according to, or up to now, according to the media, had no idea what they were doing, were total disasters. Donald Trump was not prepared. It's obvious. Every time you hired somebody, it's obvious they're just reacting. They don't know what to do next. I'm telling you, I want him to write the book of the biggest failed campaign in history that landed my ass in the White House. Okay, so Paul Manafort, he hires Paul Manafort, and Paul Manafort comes in, and Manafort works his way through the convention, and he works the delegates, he goes on the TV, he handles everything, he knows how to do it, he's a seasoned guy, he worked the delegates for Ronald Reagan, knows what he's doing, the guy goes, works the delegates at the convention, goes on TV, ends up going there, and what does he do? He is the person that brings Pence in. You see, Manafort's not gone. Now, if you like Mike Pence this morning, Manafort's not gone till after the convention. You remember, he goes to the convention, all right? He goes to the convention. So Manafort comes in, Lewandowski gets him through the primary. They get enough votes. They know they got enough delegates. They've won. He is the nominee. He is the presumptive nominee, okay? So Lewandowski is out, all right? Okay, Lewandowski's out, all right? Just got a message that Carlene can't be here this morning. I understand. But Lewandowski's out, all right? So Manafort comes in. He transitions to the delegates, he transitions to the convention, and Mike Pence. Remember, they picked Mike Pence, okay? Paul Manafort right there for the pick. Paul Manafort's one of the people who said, Donald, Mike Pence, that's going to be the steady that pulls you through the general. So Manafort's job is to get him through the convention, get a vice president, and get him ready for the general. Again, he doesn't know anything. He's not ready for a general election. He doesn't have a ground game. Manafort's got to go. The media wants you to believe he just got fired. I'm of the belief maybe he did his job. Now, let's go next. Here comes Kellyanne. Kellyanne Conway, okay? Kellyanne Conway comes in. We're in the general election. Kellyanne Conway is a pollster. That's what she does, polling. She knew internals. She was able to do polling that nobody else. She understood how to do the polling. She understood where to go. She knew. She knew the internal polls said they were a fraction away in Minnesota. There's people that say if they had spent a little more time in Minnesota, they would have won. Kellyanne is the one that knew they were just a fraction there, that they were going to flip Michigan. You remember Fool's Gold, Pennsylvania? Joe Scarborough? There's no reason to go to Pennsylvania. It's just fool's gold for Republicans. Kellyanne Conway was there. She knew. She knew it was. She stood strong. She was the spokesperson. The first woman to ever win a major election campaign as a campaign manager. Now, let's not move too fast. Well, let's go to the next one. Steve Bannon. Now, nobody likes Steve, so I must like him, okay? Steve Bannon, I think he's CEO of Breitbart, and he puts everything on hold there, and he is the general of this thing, All right? So you got Kellyanne Conway, they're in the general election. Now, Trump is still up to the point he has no damn idea what he's doing. I mean, he had Corey Lewandowski, what a failure there. Just end up the nominee. Then he has Paul Manafort, what a failure there. He gets the delegates out of convention, he gets Mike Pence, he gets ready for the general election. Oh, Matt, well, that was a total failure. Now he gets into the general election and he hires Kellyanne Conway. Next step, goes to the next step. Okay, Kellyanne Conway, all right? Now, Kellyanne Conway and Steve Bannon, they run the general. So they run this 60-day marathon out of the daggone, they come out of the convention with this marathon, and bam, they hit the ground running and they don't stop. Kellyanne knows where to go. Steve knows how to stay focused. I think Steve Bannon was very instrumental in keeping Donald Trump focused. You can laugh if you want. I think he had all of the heart, the issues of the heart of America ready to go for Donald Trump. And I think the two of them worked together with Steve's leadership, and Donald Trump did what he had to do. So they get up to election night, right? They get up to election night. Now, go to the next picture. This is Jared Kushner. Now, folks, Jared Kushner is Donald Trump's son-in-law, okay? Now, I always felt there was a joke where every time they tried to pin Hillary Clinton's campaign or Democrats as Donald Trump as anti-Semitic. I always thought that was a total joke. This guy's name's Kushner, folks. This is Donald Trump's son-in-law, okay? Now, I have done business in disclosure. My brother, my sister, myself, we have done business with the Kushners for years. The Kushner Construction Company out of New York, I've done business with the Kushners for years. Never quite met Jared Kushner, but I've met a couple Kushners, okay? And this guy, Jewish family from New York, ties all the way back to Israel, tied right to Israel. And Donald Trump's grandchildren are Jewish, and the Democrats are trying to make a statement that Donald Trump was anti-Semitic. But here we go. Jared Kushner is a top advisor. Guess what Jared Kushner was? He was there during Corey Lewandowski. That's right. When this campaign started, that's Donald's top advisor right there. Jared Kushner, his son-in-law. So he was there during the Corey Lewandowski. All right? He was there during the Paul Manafort. Jared Kushner and Paul Manafort are the top reasons, two top reasons you have Mike Pence as Vice President of the United States today. That guy right there, Jared Kushner. Okay? So Jared Kushner, he is there during the Paul Manafort hiring and the end of the campaign. After that, Jared Kushner is there all the way through Kellyanne Conway and Steve Bannon. Jared Kushner's there. Jared Kushner has been there from day one. Now, we told you yesterday, people are making fun of Donald Trump using Twitter. Donald Trump says he's not going to stop using Twitter. So when these lies continue to come out, these lies in the media about him or stories about him, okay, he is going to take to Twitter and get it out to you and I, the word of what's true and what's not true. So Donald's already tweeted, says yesterday, the crooked media, okay, the crooked left media told everybody, they were floating the story, oh, Donald Trump wants top security clearances for all of his children. That was a lie. That was a lie. He said it, okay? The only guy that needs to get, and technically is not his son, like Eric, Donald, or Ivanka, the only person that they're going to, that I'm aware of, get security clearances for, and they have to, because this is Donald's top advisor right here, is Jared Kushner, his son-in-law. Jared Kushner, there all the way. Now, next picture. Mike Pence. Mike Pence is Paul Manafort, Jared Kushner. They are the instrumental ones that tell Donald Trump, if you crisscross this country and you want to go in the right direction with the American people that you're making the promises, the rural American people that you're making the promises to, this is the guy that we got to put on the ticket. So Kushner and Paul Manafort and the other rest of the family, but they're instrumental. And you've got Mike Pence, okay? Now, every once in a while, you have to not believe the media. There's a survey that came out. I think 70% of American people don't trust them. They're not trusted. 70% do not trust the media, all right? That being said, 70% don't trust the media. Don't worry. The best thing this morning, and I'll tell you in a minute, but Mike Pence is the head of the transition team. Okay? Now, did he boot Chris Christie out? I don't know. Was Chris Christie keeping the lights on and making sure the copiers were working and they had toner and everything until the team got there? I don't know. But the media wants to think they know something. They get so bothered that they want to know if they want to think he knows something. So Chris Christie's the head of the transition team. Chris Christie's in there drinking coffee with lobbyists. Okay. Donald Trump says that I show up and that's all that's there. That's everybody's a lobbyist. And this is what I've been talking about, right? So he tells Chris, hey, you're out. Get your friends out of here. Okay, get you and your friends get out. Okay, we got copiers, we got copier paper, we got offices, all the phones work, and the coffee is made. You can go on home now. All right? However that happened, I don't know. Mike Pence is the head of the transition team. That's who's the head of the transition team this morning. We're going to have to stay calm down and focused. We're going to have to calm down and focus and not let the New York Times and not let these people squeak these things out. Okay? Now, what happened to this terrible, who is the guy that said this yesterday or this morning, said, the final decision, they're secret, and the final decision rests with me. Next picture. Donald Trump. You see that? Donald Trump. Donald Trump said he'll make the decisions in these cabinet posts. He'll make the decisions, okay? So folks, the best news you have this morning is to hear the transition team is in disarray. The best news you have this morning is to see the New York Times saying firing leaves Trump's transition team in disarray. When you hear the media say, obviously, Donald Trump wasn't prepared to win. We went through the whole thing today. Obviously, at no time was he prepared to win. Why, we could see the transition from primaries to the convention, to the general, to the transition team, to the White House. We could see in no way whatsoever was he prepared to win at any time. See, they don't see how he won because he did not spend the money. They do not see how he won because he didn't spend millions of wasted dollars on the ground game and open up all these field offices all over and, and employ people to drag people out to the polls. See, we didn't have to have buses and dragging people out to the polls in buses ground game that the Democrats had. So because they didn't have any of that, this campaign's been a total failure. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to go with total failure. I'm going to see if I could screw up as bad as Donald Trump today, because I just went through a whole timeline. Now, another thing I did while I was showing you that, I've said all along, Donald Trump will surround himself with the right people to make the right decisions to get things done. And if it's to get things done, and if I'm not mistaken, okay, he got it done. Okay, whether they say get her done, he got it done. Okay, he's in there, and he put the people in the positions necessary at the time necessary to get it done. President Obama is crisscrossing around the world trying to apologize for what you did to the world. He's trying to assure the world. Don't you love that? Let me tell you what assure the world means as President Obama is crisscrossing the country. And he first goes to Greece. Why did he go to Greece? All of a sudden, is Greece solvent? All of a sudden, do they have money? Why go there? Interesting. What is he assuring anybody in Greece of anything? Okay? Or did Greece say, hey, is Trump going to call our loans? Because if he does, we're screwed. Anyhow, what Obama's doing is he is assuring the world. He's trying to explain to the world because they're in fear of world welfare being cut off. I'm your host, BKP. It's 8:30. When we come back, your congressman, if you're in Georgia, got a big promotion yesterday. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the Rough Ridge fires, and heck, we got a lot to talk about. So, transition teams in disarray, best news all day. I'll be right back.